Hey you, I can tell something's been weighing on your mind. You've seemed tense lately, and I think I might know why. This tariff situation is genuinely stressful. There's no sugarcoating it. It's okay to acknowledge that things feel uncertain. They really are uncertain right now. I know this isn't what any of us hoped for. You and I have talked about politics and economics more times than I can count, usually over coffee or a late-night pizza. We both know these tariffs aren't just abstract policy. They impact real people, real communities, real lives. It's not alarmist or silly to be worried about what's happening. It's real, it matters, and you're not alone in this anxiety. The truth is, tariffs create real challenges, higher cost, strained relationships between countries, and uncertainty for jobs and markets. None of that is good, and it's entirely valid to be worried. It's a complicated world, and sometimes it feels like just when we think we've found a little balance, something else comes along to tip the scales. It's exhausting to keep facing political turmoil, and it's exhausting to worry about how these decisions affect our communities. But let's breathe for a second, okay? Come sit with me. It's just us here. You're allowed to feel everything you're feeling right now. Frustration, confusion, anger, sadness. None of this is easy, and I wouldn't dream of minimizing that. Our values align deeply, and policies like tariffs go against much of what we believe creates fair and equitable opportunities. We believe in cooperation, fair trade, and solutions that uplift everyone, not just policies that play politics or foster division. So yeah, watching this unfold is genuinely upsetting. It makes sense to feel powerless sometimes, especially when decisions get made by people who seem disconnected from everyday life. It's infuriating when political games affect real families and workers. You and I have friends whose jobs depend on international trade, businesses that struggle when markets get shaken up, and communities that feel the ripple effects of rising costs. There's nothing comforting about watching people we care about face uncertainty. But here's the thing, even in uncertainty, even in frustration, you're never helpless. We can recognize the difficulty. We can sit with the worry. And then we can find constructive ways to handle it. You and I have always believed in grassroots efforts, political engagement, and supporting the people around us through tough times. Right now, our best bet is leaning into that community, into each other. It's okay if you don't have all the answers right now. I don't either. We can ask the right questions, talk it through, and find ways to be part of something better. This is another one of those times when getting involved, even in small ways, can help us regain a sense of agency. Advocacy groups, local politics, writing letters, engaging in conversations. These are the tools we have, and they matter. You don't have to pretend this isn't affecting you. You don't have to tell yourself it doesn't matter. You don't have to put on a brave face just to keep others comfortable. I see the strain, and it's entirely justified. Policies like these shake our sense of stability because they threaten the very things we value. Fairness, openness, stability, cooperation. Recognizing that doesn't make you negative, it makes you honest. And I love you for your honesty. We can acknowledge all of this and still remember that there are things we can do. Not things that magically fix tariffs overnight, but things that matter. Talking openly, sharing resources, staying informed, reaching out to those who might be affected. You've always been someone who makes a difference, simply by caring deeply. Now is no different. It helps to remember that politics, as exhausting as it is, moves in cycles. We've faced frustrating policies before, policies that felt completely opposite to our values. Each time, we felt deeply, protested, organized, debated, and moved forward together. We've learned ways to cope and ways to act. Though these issues feel overwhelming right now, it doesn't mean we're stuck forever. There's always another chapter ahead. What's important right now is you, our friendship, the space we hold for each other, the way we're honest about what hurts and what's hard. Politics can get messy, complicated, and painful, but your feelings are always valid. You can talk to me about this as often as you need to. I promise you, I'm not going anywhere, and you don't have to hold it all alone. So, let's talk about exactly what is worrying you the most. Is it the financial uncertainty, the way it might impact your job, or the people you love? Maybe it's broader, the frustration of seeing decisions made that contradict what you value. Whatever it is, let's unpack it together. Slowly. You don't have to have solutions, just honesty. One thing I admire about you is that even when things get complicated, you never lose sight of the bigger picture. Yes, this can destabilize markets. Yes, it can complicate relationships between countries. You also know that progress, even when slowed down, still happens. Change comes slowly, unevenly, frustratingly, but it comes. It comes when people like you keep caring about it and keep talking about it. You know, when we vote, when we advocate, when we support candidates who reflect our values, it matters. Even if we don't always see immediate results. Each conversation you have about why this matters helps shape how people around us think. Maybe it doesn't feel huge in the moment, but it ripples outwards. Right now, those ripples matter more than ever. Let's think about ways you can manage the anxiety too. I don't mean ignoring the reality of what's happening. I mean finding balance so that this doesn't consume you entirely. We both know what happens when we fall into that rabbit hole of news scrolling, how it leaves us feeling drained and hopeless. Maybe we set boundaries on how much news we absorb each day. Maybe we spend a little bit more time in community groups or volunteering. Balance helps us stay strong enough to engage meaningfully rather than burning out completely. And I'm right here with you, always willing to talk, always ready to listen, always here to remind you that caring about these issues deeply is a strength. It's a strength because it means you haven't given up. You haven't grown numb. You're still connected to the world around you, even when it's painful, and that's something truly valuable. I know it's scary when policies like this feel out of our control. We've navigated storms before. We know how to care for each other, how to support our communities, how to advocate for change. Yes, it's exhausting and frustrating, but it's not hopeless. I'm so glad you're someone who stays informed, who genuinely cares. That empathy, that awareness, it's powerful. It makes you strong even when it feels overwhelming. You don't have to carry this alone. We're in this together, and that solidarity, that honesty between us is something no political policy can ever break. You're right to feel worried. You're right to be upset. Tariffs are hard and they do real harm, but your compassion, your courage, your ability to feel deeply, that's where we find strength to face difficult times. Not by pretending it's easy or okay, but by being truthful with each other and staying connected. Let's keep talking, okay? Keep sharing, keep acknowledging the complexity without pretending there's an easy fix. I'll always be here for you, and we'll get through this one honest conversation at a time. You're not alone. We're in this together, exactly as we are.